Hey, whoa, hey. Before you think about clicking off of this video, hey, there's something that I really need to share for those of you who are in the middle class. Hey, this is something you're gonna wanna hear. Check it out. Hey, how's it going? Hey, welcome to 9 to 5 Wealth. My name is Starsky DeBerry, a man that many of you don't know, but hopefully over time, I'm hoping to become your friend, and that's not just a ploy. Today, we're going to be talking about the middle class mindset because it is so important that we bring back the value of the class of people who are the driving engine of any innovation, any company, any concept, any idea. You name any company, I guarantee you they got white collar, blue collar workers that is driving the vision forward. And there is not a whole lot of positive teaching for those of us in middle class. There's always teaching making us feel like we're lacking something when we are the backbone of the whole thing. You feel me what I'm saying? Okay, so today we're going to be talking about middle class mindset. And if you can't see this, I'm going to put it up on the screen. But we need to get back to these fundamentals. Because if you like me, don't it feel like we're just working just to be working? It seems like, now what are we doing this for? We moved into this environment in companies where they want you to be more productive. And the more of the narrative that you hear on social media and other things that, hey, you can't outwork me. And it's like, wait a minute. We forgetting a lot of times the fundamental basis of what makes the middle class the middle class. It really don't have so much to do about how much money you make, but middle class people have a certain mindset. And I want to teach the kind of things that brings the value, the respect back to this class, so you won't be trying to pursue somebody else's purpose, somebody else's idea, but you will do what's best for your household and your lifestyle, and you will find a way to be cool with that, happy with that, no matter if it's not on the Forbes top list, it's not going to be in any magazine, but it's the life that you want. All right, let's get into it. We need to get back to these fundamentals. I want to talk about the basic things that makes the middle class the middle class. We got to get back to these mindsets. See, I'm a country boy, grew up in Mississippi, grew up in the South. Memphis, Tennessee. But all of my family is from the South. So I'm used to a very down home kind of feeling. I'm used to something that right now I'm staying out in California and it's a whole different kind of environment. But I come from a basis of people, a certain mindset that the world is trying to sift out of us and make us feel like we're less than because we're not this or we're not that. And we find ourselves missing our purpose, missing the meaning for our life because we're trying to keep up with whatever narrative that is put out on social media or television. But listen, I ain't finna beat on nobody. Hey, let's get into the lesson. The first fundamental that is missing in the middle class that I don't want us to lose, listen, don't worry, I'm going to put it on the screen, is a word called stability. Middle class people have always been the type of people that grounded things first on stability. We found a way to make sure we have tighter family bonds, stability. When a husband or a wife thought about getting a job, or whatever occupation, they made sure it was going to be something that was still in line with the family ties that they were building. So the job had to complement what you were trying to do in your home. If you got a job as a banker or a manager or a whatever it was, you talked about it with your household because you talked about the salary and all that, what it was going to entail, because middle class people always had a basis of stability because we already knew that we were going to have kids, that we were going to build a family, that we were going to have this or that. So we wanted a stable foundation because it's in the stability that you're able to make wise decisions. But have you noticed that there is so many things that's trying to wipe out that foundation of stability and get people fantasizing about more, better, bigger? When the fact of the matter is, if whatever you're doing pulls you away from the things that makes you feel grounded, is it really success? Is it me, or is there a lot of people who are affluent that's divorced the most, that's children are everywhere, that's most of the time you got this big mansion, but it's just you know. But the middle class people, when we begin to build a life, we're building it not just thinking about us, not just thinking about our household, but we're also thinking about the community. We're down home, you know, and no matter where you stay, we're loyal to our areas. You understand what I'm saying? We need to get back to stability. We need to get back to a well-rounded thinking, because no matter what the times bring, the person who sees things the clearest, who is able to respond to whatever the reality of the truth or whatever that is in a proper way, you're going to weather the storm. When you look at things like the Great Depression, people had to go back to the basics. They had to go back to stability. They had to go back to the things that we should have been holding on to all along. But for some reason in this time frame, we always run to the next shiny thing, the next big thing, and because we want notoriety. But those things come after you have built up the foundation. So middle class people, we have always thought clearly on stability in our finances, family, and our faith. These are the three things that we want to make sure, not that we just have strong bonds in terms of marriage, but we have strong bonds in terms of kids. You can talk to anybody who grew up in a decent household, whether it was just mom or mom and dad or however the situation was. I can remember my mom coming to things that I had in school when she could. I can remember going to school with all of my brothers and sisters. I can remember going to school with friends I had in my community. It was a very tight-knit thing. And we don't need to devalue that. We don't need to see that as something simple, or you know how people who get sophisticated, they look at like simple means stupid. It's like, no. Stability is something that needs to be upheld and valued. You know, I don't want to belabor it too much, but you feel me what I'm saying? This makes up the middle class mind. This makes us who we are. This is one of the major pillars, that the reason why you're working like you're working is for a certain reason. And it's not so you can get on social media and tell everybody, you know, your success story and how I do. It's like, no, I'm working so that I can make sure that I minimize my family in risk, that I put some things in place so that my family don't have to suffer, so that the lifestyle that I created, I can maintain. Those are the reasons. It's a very sober way of thinking. All right, let's get to the next one. You feeling me right now? You feeling me? Like I haven't even got into what we're going to talk about down the line. But listen, you just getting to know me. I'm just getting to know you. Thank you so much for not clicking off that you're still listening to me, because I'm just ranting right now. I'm not even getting into the bones of it, because I'm just trying to get a feel for you, and I want you to get a feel for me. Hey, listen, if you already vibing with this, hey, look, get me down in a couple of comments, man. Like and subscribe. You know, I'm never used to saying that. I like teaching things without having to ask anybody for anything, because I teach this thing because I'm inspired to help somebody else, and I don't want it to be like a ploy. You know what I mean? So if you can comment, if you can like and subscribe, if that's what you feel led to do, hey, thank you so much. But I'm gonna keep putting out these videos because that's what's in my heart. All right, the next one of the major fundamentals of middle class, the mindset that we have, is sustainability. Once you get that house, once you get that car, once you get those things, you move into a place where you're sustaining what you're doing. We never started working a job necessarily because it brought meaning to us. You know, we're doing this because the initial feeling is I'm looking for a greater meaning on how I'm affecting the world. No, I work the job that I'm working because it's helping to get us to a place where we can continue to build upon the things that matter to us, and we can hold tight to those things that we actually care about. You know, we keep it up because it matters as a father that my children, my wife, see me as a stable, dependable, consistent man. Why? Because that's strengthening the home. It's important that when I get on the job, that I understand that this job is not something that's limelight sexy, but this job is meant for paying my bills, helping me to get ahead a little bit, and I accept the portion that I have, and I do great on my job because I understand that is the reason why I got the job. I didn't get the job because it was going to be on a highlight reel. I got the job because it maintains the basis of what I want and need for my life right now. And I never take sustainability for granted because I look over and somebody has this new thing or that new clever invention or this new technology, and I look down on my situation and say, oh man, you know, I need to be such and such. No. The middle class people are people that says what we have right now is enough, and we're going to build upon the little or whatever portion that you have. We're going to build on that while holding together the relationship, while holding together family, while being a part of the community. You don't see that anymore unless you go to smaller towns because people have forgot about sustainability. Sustainability, they forgot about. That's one of the pillars of the middle class mindset that we lose so much track of. We get on the job and the only thing you're thinking about is how much you're getting paid, when the fact of the matter is, after you get paid, if you was thinking sober, what are you really doing with the money? Because just the first two that I've said is going to move you to a place where you're discussing your goals, you're discussing your intentions, you're discussing how you're going to move forward. Because you're not just focused on climbing the ladder, you're focused on the reason why you need to climb the ladder. If there is no reason, if being a manager is going to cause you to deteriorate your family home, why would you take management if that's going to break the bonds of the stability that you have built in the beginning? Is the money really that important when your family don't see you? But listen, I digress. This is just my opinion. You see, y'all gonna see this in a lot of videos. I keep my hands up all the time because I'm your friend. I am a middle class working man, truck driver right now. That the reason why I got that job because it was gonna put my family in a better position, but it wasn't going to be something that pulled me away from my family and caused the ties that I have built to be deteriorated. All right. Next. The next fundamental is strategic growth. Right? Strategic growth. I'm saying it's fancy because when I say it's simple and being country, you know, coming from small towns, different things like that, people tend to look at you like, you know, again, simple is stupid. It's like, no. You can talk to any farmer, you know, and you talk to them long enough, you'll realize these people are geniuses. You know, they just say it in a different way. They say it in a different lingo, but they're very, very intelligent and very smart. Strategic growth. if I have built something, I have sustained it, then I began to talk about how to strategically grow it. Now, strategically growth doesn't just mean what you're doing on your job. It means that little Sally or little Bobby or little Raheem, is getting ready to graduate high school and they're thinking about college. So you start thinking in terms of strategic growth is, what is our next move to get our kids to college or their first job or their first car so growth is anything that's when people start growing up and when situations start to expand in your house, you're thinking about ways to support what is happening at the same time as your daughter or your son going to college. You're able to keep ties with them because you help them get to that platform and you're in communication with them. So strategic growth is saying, I'm not going to reach for the next branch until there is a clearer understanding in my household that, listen, we are all together about to leap to this branch. When I talk like this, most people out there, oh my God, dude, you are moving entirely too slow, man. Come on, opportunity moves fast, man. Sometimes you can't talk to people. You just got to jump. It's like, see, listen, what has deteriorated the middle class is people who are so impatient with others, so uncompassionate with others that yes, you jump to the level of success, but all the friends that kept you grounded, all the people that could really help you to maintain and sustain that authenticity, your true identity, your true self, are now gone. So now you jump to this next branch and that's all you got is yes man and fakers, and you forgot even who you are. If the middle class, it's like we keep people around to make sure that, yes, you can be a dreamer, but you want the people around that help keep your feet on the ground. Because when we run into hard times, when we run into difficult situations, it is having the right people in your corner that's going to allow you to weather that storm. And we don't need to let go of people that is valuable to us just because success moves a little slow with this particular method. So I don't want to put words in your mouth. Strategic growth. That's one of the fundamental things. Strategically growing. There are people who get on jobs and complain all day long about how much money that they're making because they don't have any strategy on the job for growth. They're not talking about the options of what they're going to do next. They're not talking about the possibilities. They're not sharing anything, which is not the middle class mindset. The middle class mindset, the husband and the wife talk all the time. The husband talk to the kids all the time about what they were going to do or what they were planning to do or what they aspire to do so that the people around you can support you, that they can be a part of where you're going, but that takes effort to slow your pace enough to realize that you're slowing down for people that you need, that matter to you. So the people that matter to you is worth for you to slow down because they are the people you're going to need when you jump over to this next level and you jump over there and there are so many fake people on that level, you're going to need somebody real next to you. The most lonely person right now is a person who is in an environment. You got tons of accolades, you got awards, you got all this applause, but nobody knows the real you. See, we can't lose this middle class mindset. We got to realize that we are the driving engine of any innovation, concept, business, anything. If you got employees, white or blue collar, no matter how much what they're getting paid, no matter what the salary is, your business could not run efficiently unless you had those people. See, Elon Musk get to be on television talking about flying a rocket to the moon and different things like that. But he himself is not flying anything. It is a pilot, a educated person that is actually in the cockpit flying the plane. Elon Musk is just on TV talking about the money that he put behind the rocket initiative, but he's not the astronauts in the seat. It's middle class working kind of people that's actually in the seat. Do you understand what I'm saying? There is value in us, and the social narrative is trying to get us to devalue the thing that keeps this country on stable ground. It's us. You need to see your work. All right, let's get to this one. The next foundation is planning for the future. Planning for the future, right? The thing that I love doing during crucial times in any country, there were always people who were stable enough, who can see it coming. They could see it coming, and they prepared for the future. There were people who knew that certain businesses was not going to be there much longer. So in planning for the future, they had already started going back to school, learning a new trade or different things like that, so they can make sure that they walk in step with where the times were going, right? This is our mindset. Our job as middle class people is to see the landscape of the country that we're living in and act accordingly. At the same time, holding on to the people and the things that matter to you, because it's the people and the things that allow you to stay who you are. To stay who you are. The person that's talking to you now is who I am. That's because I'm surrounded in an environment of people who can see and know who I am. So I can't fool them. You know, I could never fool grandma. I could never fool my mom or my dad. Could never fool, because these are the people who are meant to walk with you and keep you sober so that you can move to your next level correctly. Plan for the future. Didn't talk a whole lot about that. But that's what we do. We work the job, we make the decision, we set the goals, we do different things because we're planning for the future. We're looking at the landscape of our life and we're planning for it. We're getting into a conversation, a dialogue with our household and our close friends and different things like that. And we're building a plan for the future. So in ending this, let me ask you, you stayed this long, so can we just talk? Okay, so why do we have to move so fast? Why do we have to become the next thing? Why is that so exciting to you when the people, after you make the millions, after you get there, after you are this successful person, if there's no real people around that really know you, you're spewing your accolades and all of this thing to a room and an environment of people who may love you in the moment, but in the times that you really need them, either you pay them to come around or they're not around. But the people that really know you and support you, you don't have to give them anything. They're just a phone call away, to be there for you. We need to get back to this mindset. We need to get back to making sure that we protect, hold tight to the bonds, to the people that that gives us the purpose of why we doing all this for. Why are we doing all this for? Right? Okay, so listen, join me in the next episode, and we're going to be talking about many more things on 9 to 5 wealth, and we also go right now, I'm on the subject matter of middle class. So we're going to be talking more about the middle class, man, because this is a class that they're trying to siphon away, but I want us to hold tight to this mindset, because it is this mindset that's going to get us through whatever life may throw at your way, because you're going to be ready. All right, my name is Starsky. Hey, see you in the next episode.